For those of y'all who don't know who Officer Tatum is, to some people, he's brain dead. But if you're a white Republican, he's a token black guy. Like, he's going to say the same talking points that you're thinking in your head. He's always going to be there to shit on the black community. He's always going to be there to degrade the black community. He's always going to be there to just make you feel good about yourself. To make you feel like, no, you're not racist. Whatever you're saying isn't racist. Like, it's okay. He reinforces the thought that you're a good white guy. Your thoughts are okay. And this video shows that because Scott Adams recently came out with a video reacting to a poll that said, is it okay to be white? Something like that. Okay? And after he saw that poll, black people said, I think it was like 50 black people said, I don't know, like, I don't want to answer the question, or it's not okay. So after that, he came out and said, we need to leave the black community alone. We need to get away from them. We need to stop helping them. If you're like, just separate yourself from black people in general, which is a very, very controversial take for him to have. Like, oh my God. So we're going to react to Officer Tatum's take on this. So yeah.
The best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
What the brother said. White people. Stay away from black people. But was he wrong though? But I'm gonna put this in perspective because I know a lot of people are losing their salvation. And my wife is white and she wrote a comment on his thing, kind of defending what he said, and she getting drugged. But we don't care because people are nutty. But listen to what Scott Adams said, and I want you to think to yourself while you're listening, is what he's saying not true?
Yeah. What he's saying is not fucking true at all. And he's going to try to defend this somehow. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to try to defend it. It's just who he is. That's how he makes his money.
And then I'm going to prove to you that everything he say about the way black people feel about white people, not all, but there's a lot. And then I'm going to prove the fact that black people say the same thing he said. And nobody's outraged when black people say it. So how is this man a racist when what he's saying is true and black people say the same thing he's saying? I'm gonna show you in a minute, but listen to what he said. I wrote a clip.
Nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll. Not according to me, according to this poll. That's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the away.
Okay.
Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed.
Let me go ahead and tell you right now. If I saw a poll and it said over 50% of white people voted no, that it's not okay to be black, or that they don't like black people, do you think I'd believe that? You think anybody with a sound mind would believe that? 50%? I mean, if it was 45, I'd be like, nah, I'm fucking with you. But no, I would not believe that shit. This dude's brain must be the size of a walnut for him to believe some stupid shit like that. And let me remind you, this poll, they polled over 160 black people, and there was 1,000 people altogether, okay? And if he doesn't bring up the poll, I will bring it up because it's so stupid.
Right, this can't be fixed.
I can't believe he said it out loud. I cannot believe he said it out loud. But we'll finish this. In your mind,
you just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where I have a very low black population, because unfortunately there's a high correlation between the density. This is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods.
Respect where you live. Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away. Just
Now, did Don Lemon get canceled for this?
No.
I want us to be in. Did Don Lemon get canceled for this? This is what he said. Now, I got way more evidence than this, but let's keep going.
So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off.
Yeah, you know, if you're white and you see this, don't bother helping black people. Just forget about it. Like, leave them to their own demise, I guess. And I guess the same thing applies to black people. If you see white people like struggling, just leave them alone. You see a homeless person out there like just struggling and they're black, don't give them that dollar. Don't give them that dollar. Don't help them out. It's not worth it.
Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying.
Okay.
Totally not trying. And there we go. You didn't expect that today, did you? But those who don't want to focus on education, you just need to get away from them. Just get as much distance as you can. That's my recommendation. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture of what's happening. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person.
All right. And I'm pretty sure
Okay.
there's a lot more video here, but this is just the video I could find and extract some of.
Oh, I think Officer Tatum missed the part where he said, I identified as black. Yeah. Scott Adams was like, I identified as black. But then it's because I wanted to be part of the winning group. So I identified as black. And after I saw that survey, I didn't want to identify as black anymore. I didn't want to identify with a hate group. So I went back to being white. They don't like white people, and that's a hate group. Like, the dude had the audacity to be like, I identify as black. Fucking idiot. The dude's a fucking dumbass. But I like how Officer Tatum like kind of leaves out that part. He's like, I couldn't find the whole video. Bro, it's a live stream. You could have found the video. I'll put the video right here.
Of what he said. Now, I want you to ask you this question. Is what he said completely wrong? Now, I know that he must be coming from a reactive state, probably coming from a hurt place. And personally, I don't necessarily agree with everything he said and how he said it. However, 90% of what he said, as a black man in America, I agree with what he's saying. Let me just give you an example of another black man saying exactly what Scott Adams said. Don't believe me, listen to a brother from the hood. And I know, and my mom and them helped us to make different decisions. But however, but you grew up in that. Let me watch the black man say exactly what Scott said.
So they go buy them a house in the white folk neighborhood. Who want to live a bunch of and you got this kind of money? Please. Who want to live among a bunch with this kind of money? Everybody trying to get to the white folks neighborhood. We all live. Y'all didn't get mad at Snoop Dogg. He live around white folk. Y'all ain't mad about Jay-Z and Beyonce. He got some money went all around white folk. So they just being hypocritical. I mean, we all want to get us some money and go live around white folk. At least I know I do. I want to live among white folk. And
We know what he means by I want to live with white folks. He's talking about I want to live in the suburbs. It's not, if there was Asians there, like it was a full-blown Asian community and it wasn't white people, it'd be like, I want to live with the Asians. If it's like a full-blown Asian thing and they're all rich, that's what it would be. It has nothing to do with white or black. It has to do with where you want to live. Because the majority of white people in America have money, right? That's where you want to live. Not because they're white, but because they have money. That's all it is. And this dude's making it seem like he actually wants to live with white people. Like he just loves white. Like that's not what it is. You're twisting the whole thing. And
go outside and see the white women walking.
Now, one man's statement. That doesn't mean that's everybody. But I'm telling you, name an athlete, name a millionaire, billionaire that's black that live in a black neighborhood. And you can't count Atlanta because that's where all the black people live in one spot. So there's Baldwin Hills or a couple areas. But around the nation, there is no. Find your favorite player. Where does LeBron James live at? Where does Colin Kaepernick buy his house at? Where does Black Lives Matter, Patrice Cullors buy her houses at? With your money that you donated to Black Lives Matter. She went and bought houses in predominantly white areas. Not a single investment in the black community as the founder of Black Lives Matter. Had the most influence out of any organization probably ever in American history. And the black woman running that company was hoodwinking y'all, stealing y'all money, and went and bought a house in a white neighborhood. Name one. Find them.
They act like it's because they're white. Like they want to live there because they're white. They want to be white so bad. That's not what it is. It's just everybody knows that white people have money. There's more middle-class white people than there are black people. And that's per capita. Per capita, black people are a lot poorer. And he's just giving you stats without giving you context. It's the same thing like it's the same thing like the poll. The poll said, is it okay to be white? Now, is it okay to be white is a loaded ass question, right or wrong? Because when we think of, is it okay to be white? We think of white nationalists, right? Like Black Lives Matter. Some of you might say, oh, it's a terrorist organization. The main thing of Black Lives Matter was a good thing until the whole riots and all that shit. Now, supporting the riots makes you, I want to say a dumbass. It makes you a fucking dumbass. But to say like you support black lives, like do you like stuff like that, that's nothing. That's not that big of a deal. But when you say, is it okay to be white? It's like, dude, of course it's okay to be white. No one gives a fuck. Okay? I think white people just want to be victims so bad. Like they want a taste of that like whole victimhood. It's like, dude, y'all got it pretty fucking well in America, if I may say so myself. Like, what's going on? What's the problem? Right? But no, they just want to complain. Is it okay to be white? Well, yeah. But that is a loaded question. When I think of, is it okay to be white? I think of white nationalists trying to say some crazy shit. Like, if it's like, it's the same thing with like, it's the same thing with like body positivity. Like it started out pretty good, but then it went downhill with people just saying they want to, like they love being fat. Like, no. The origin of, is it okay to be white, or the origin of like white lives matter, it's just a front to say fuck Black Lives Matter. Even before the riots, it's the same thing. It's the same exact fucking thing. Is it okay to be white? Bro, I think of the KKK. Now, it's okay to be white. No one's saying it's wrong to be white. Oh my God, like, kill yourself in Minecraft if you're white. No one's saying that. No one cares. It's just to say, is it okay to be white? Is it okay to like, it's just such a loaded term. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people that voted no, but have an explanation for it. Because is it okay to be white is like, I think of like an incel white guy living in his basement. Like, dude, I don't know. That's what I think of. But no one gives a fuck if you're white.
Activists, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. Where does Benjamin Crump live? I guarantee you these people do not live in predominantly black areas. I'll say this, and then I'm going to show you why I think Scott Adams had made mention about how black people have a disdain for white folks. But I'll say this. Where's the most dangerous places to live? Go to Dallas. Where's the most dangerous place to live in Dallas? Say how black people for saying this. But people like this get to get on TV, have a talk show, write a book, and listen to what she's saying about white people. And you expect somebody like Scott Adams to be banished because he said what he said. Listen, I got a whole bunch of clips. This is one of two clips I'm going to play.
that when people are like, well, why are you a feminist? Because it is part of my ancestral intellectual legacy and heritage to be so. I'm not going to leave my ancestors' intellectual labor on the table because white feminists are racist today. They've always been racist. Some of them have been better than others. Some of them have had a better critique than others. Some of them have been down for the struggle for liberty. What they have done. They know. They fear that there is no other way to be human but the way in which they are human, which is to, so, you know, like you talk to white people and whenever you really want to have a reckoning about it, they say stuff like, you know, it's just human nature. If y'all had all of this power, you would have done the same thing, right? And it's like, no, that's what white humans did. White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism. We have seen what...
I honestly did not think he was going to be able to find a way to justify Scott Adams' talking points. Somehow, he found a way to justify it. Now, you could call him a sellout. I'm not going to call him a sellout. I'm going to say he's a victim to his audience. Because if he says anything different, they're going to call him, like, they're going to say, oh, you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're a libtard. He doesn't want that. This is how he makes his money, by hating on black people. Everybody knows this woman right here is fucking stupid. Now, you see something on social media and you think it's the whole thing. Like, you think that's everybody. You're generalizing there. It's not true. Do I think all white people are racist? Fuck no. But do I think some, and by some I mean like you have that 1-2%? Yeah, that's everybody. And I would say the same thing applies to black people. Yeah, black people can be racist. Yeah, there are some black people that don't like white people. But is it the majority? Is it even half? Is it even 30%? No. I want to say if you have a fucking brain, you would know that not every white person is out to get you. Not every white person gives a fuck about you being black. But the Republican Party makes it very difficult to think that when you have stuff like this. No one had any backlash towards her because no one gives a fuck. She's a blip on the radar. A blip. No one cares because they know what she's saying is fucking stupid as fuck. And I don't think she was a big cartoon artist either. So, I mean, maybe if she was, there would be a lot more controversy behind it. Now, do I think that people do hate, like, it's mainstream media that, like, hates on white people? Yeah. And that's stupid and that needs to stop. But also this whole thing of, because there have been a lot of videos recently of black people fighting white people, but it's been like the past week. And it's been because of Scott Adams. Scott Adams is the reason why. Because everything went downhill after that. And now you have all these conservative pages feeding you, all this propaganda and say, cut ties with black people, leave black people alone, don't talk to them, they're a hate group. It's like, wow. I was surprised though, because ABO actually didn't defend Scott Adams. Now his comment section was fucking full of white people saying Scott Adams is right, Scott Adams is right. It's like, well, you're being pushed all this shit on the media that's being served to you on a silver platter by your own party. So of course you're going to feel this way. They're doing the same thing that the Democrats did to black people about cops, and they're falling for it. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If it was too long, my bad. I kind of went on a rant because this shit just pissed me off. But yeah.